Hi, I'm Marie from Crochet A to Z, and welcome to my channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, please push that subscribe button. And if you have, thank you for being here. I want to thank you all for being here, and I want to thank you all for making it possible for me to get to 500 plus subscribers today. I am so excited. I can't wait for the weeks and months to come and the things that I want to show you and share with you, and we as a group can do together. So today I want to show you how to make these ear warmers, and what they are is a ribbed ear warmers. They're really great. They're nice to make. They're easy, and I'm going to show you just how easy it is to make. So what I did here is I used a basic stitch anti-pilling by Lion Brand yarn, and it is great for a lot of things. You can make it for hats, sweaters, scarves. It's really great. And again, it's from Lion Brand, and it's 100% acrylic, and it's a 4 medium weight, and it tells you what kind of crochet hook to use, which I did use an H, and I'll show you what the color is. I think it's pomegranate. So it's really, really nice, and I'm going to show you just how easy it is. And I did use an H hook, and this is a clover hook, and you can see the little teeth marks from my dog when she got her hands on this. So this is my H hook. I use it a lot because of the yarn that I'm using. You can use any size yarn, crochet hook you want and type of yarn you want, because it depends on you. Whatever you pick for your yarn, whatever it says for you to use as far as a crochet hook, do so. But with this yarn, it told me to use an H, and that's what I did. So we're going to get started, and I'm using exactly the same kind of yarn that I used for this, I'm using for this tutorial. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do a slip knot, and I'm going to put this to one side, and there's our slip knot, and we're going to chain 21. So we're going to do 21 chains. So let's get started. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to just change the view of this. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So I did 21 chains. These are your chains. They look like V's. This is your working chain for everybody that's new, that's never crocheted before, and this is your slip knot. These are great for yourself if you want to make them for a friend. If you want to give them away at Christmas time, you can make them in a day, or if you want to sell them. So I'm going to show you just how easy this is to make. So now what we're going to do is we're going to single crochet in the second chain from the hook, and we're going to just do a single crochet. Now in the next 4 chains we're going to do a single crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now what we're going to do in the next 10 chains, we're going to do a half double crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now I'm going to go slow for anybody that's new to this so that you can follow along with me if you are. And I have all of these stitches on, I have tutorials for these stitches, so I just want to let you know that. So just check the check on my channel and you'll find them. So now in the next 5 stitches, we're going to do single crochets. So in the beginning, you do chain 21. In the second chain from the hook, you do a single crochet, and then you do a single crochet in the next 4 chains. Then you do half double crochet in the next 10 chains. And then you do 5 single crochets in the next 5 chains. And that's what we did across. So now at the end here, we're going to do a chain 1. Counts as nothing. You're going to turn your work. Now, this is what I do. You don't have to do this, but I do this for the firmness of this when we put this together. In this first stitch, I go through both loops and do a single crochet. Now what we're going to do is we're going to start our repeat. So in the next 4 loops, we're going to do a single crochet in the back loop only. This is your front loop. This is your back loop. This is what causes this nice ribbing to happen. So now we're going to go in this back loop and we're going to do a single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now in the first chain we went through both loops. In the next 4 we just went in the back loop. Now we're going to do half double crochets in the next 10 across. And we're going to follow what we did below, because that's like the foundation of what we start. But this is where we repeat. So we're going to do a half double crochet in the back loop. This is your front loop. This is your back loop for anybody that's new. And I'm going to go slow so you can follow me. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now we're going to do single crochets in the next 4, but we're going to do them in the back loop as well. So we're going to go right back here and do a single crochet. 2, 3, 4. In this very last one, we're going to do another single crochet, but we're going to go into both loops. And the reason why I'm doing this is to make it stronger for when you put this together. So you're going to do your single crochet. So now, see how it's starting to show the ribbing just like this? This is what you want to get, is that ribbing. So this is your ribbed earmuffs, so or ear warmers. So now you're going to chain 1. I think of earmuffs from when I was a kid. That's what we wore. But so now again, we chained 1, we turn around, that counts as nothing. We're going to go into both loops and make a single crochet. Now we're going to go in the back of the next 4 loops and make a single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to do 10 half double crochets in the next 10 spots. So now you did that, and you're going to do just the back loop right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, in the next 4, you're going to do a single crochet. Back loop, 1, 2, 3, 4, right in that back loop, right there. And in the last one, you're going to do your single crochet in both loops. I'm going to pull that apart so you can see it. Both loops, you're going to do it. See it? Your single crochet. And you can start to see, and you're going to have, I want to show you, see how there's a little bowing? That's from your 5 single crochets on each side, and then your half double crochets for your ribbed part. And I'll show you, this is what you're going to see. See how it's has a little arch to it. It almost looks like a little bridge. So now, again, you're going to chain 1. And like I said, this is your repeat. So you're going to do this over and over again. You chain 1 counts as nothing. You're going to go right in here, both loops, and you're going to make your single crochet in both loops. So I want to just pull this yarn so it's not, and it always seems to not for some reason when you're trying to pull it. So we're going to just loosen that up so we can move along. Thank you, excuse me. And you're going to single crochet in the back loop of the next 4. See it? Now I want to mention something to you as well. So just to let you know, you're going to be able to tell where you are because you're going to be able to see that those are your single crochets and your half double crochets are coming up, and then you're going to go off and do your single crochets. So you will be able to tell. So now you're going to do 10 half double crochets in the back loop. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The other thing, if you want to do is, if you want to, I want to mention, you can use one of these. This is a clover one, but whatever one you have, if you don't have one, you can use one of these to count each row that you do to make it easier for yourself, and it lets you know. Because you want to make this so it fits around your head, or basically anyone's head that if you're making it for someone. So make it the size of your head. And because this is, it has stretch, so it has give. I made about 67 rows. You might make it a little smaller. That depends on you. But if you want, that's what you do. And about 67 rows will get you. And I made mine a little bit more so because I am going to line it. And I'm going to show you in another video how we can line this if you want to line it with fleece. And I am going to show you how to do that. So now we're going to do, I got to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I know by the stitches that I have to start a single crochet again. So I'm going to do 4 single crochets in the back loops only. And in this very last one, I'm going to do a single crochet in both loops. Do you have to do that? No. The reason that I do this is because when I bring these together, it's going to be nice and it's going to hold better. That's why I do that. Okay? So this is what you're going to do as you move along. Again, chain 1 counts as nothing. Turn your work around. In that very first stitch, you're going to go through both those loops. Then you're going to make 4 more single crochets, but you're going to do them in the back loops only. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, back loop only, half double crochet, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. At some point, you're not even going to have to count how many you did because you're going to be able to tell your half double crochets from your single crochets. But if you lose count, just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have 5 left. That means you've got to start a single crochet in the back loop. So you've got to make 4. And now, in that very last one, you go through both loops and make your last single crochet. And what you're going to do again, you're going to chain 1, turn your work around, go through both loops here, and then continue the same pattern and keep going. And like I said, you're going to have ribbed, so it's going to stretch. But you measure it to the size that you want it. So you do as many rows as you think is necessary to make it as big as you want. And then what you'll end up with is this. So once you end up with this, what you're going to do is you're going to put it together. So now I'm going to show you what we do here to put it together. Now you can sew it together. If you want to cut this and sew it together with this, you can. If you want to crochet it together, you can. That's up to you. Whatever you think is best for you. Some people don't like to crochet them together. Some people like to use the needle and do it with their needle. That's fine. But what you're going to do is you're going to match up, and you'll be pulling all these ends through after weaving them in, is you're going to match up your stitches so that they are perfectly together. So you're going to go into each stitch and you're going to bring this together. So you're going to go into the first one and you're going to start putting this together. And I'm going to show you how we do this. Easy peasy. We're going to pull everything over so we can see what we're doing. I just want to show you that. See, it's right here. So that's what we're going to do. And here we go. And then we're going to weave these all in. So now you start with your first one. Now you're going to go to your second one and you're going to just go in. And you're going to go across. And this is the way I do this. I go through, I try to grab everything that I need to grab. And you so that you everything's even. And see how it's going along? So you're going to make sure that they come together. Now here's the next one. I'm going to go through and see how I catch this. And I'm going to go across and bring it through. You're going to just keep going, pull it through. You're going to do your little slip stitch right along. And I just want to make sure that this is... And put the yarn whatever way is easiest for you to maneuver. I'm putting it in the back. I think it's easier that way. You do whatever way you think is easy, but this is the way I find it's easier to do. See where I am? I'm just going to keep going across. And I'm going to do my slip stitch. Right across. And I'm going to make sure that they're even. And if it's not, don't worry about it. You just pull it out. Because sometimes you get, you know, it's not perfect the way you like it. So you just pull it out. That's what I do. And you just keep going. And you check it every so often when you're going across. You check it just to make sure it's where it should be. If they don't line up, no worries. You can pull it apart. See? It's lining up. That's what you want. So you go right in there. You just pick up so that it's, see how nice that is? And hold it the way you feel comfortable holding it. If you want to use 2 fingers, if you want to use one, if you want to use your hand to just get it together so that you can put it together. Especially, you don't do these that often. This is not something we do all the time when we're crocheting, so it can be a little bit you know, throw you off a little bit. So don't worry, especially if you're first time doing this. The nice thing about this is that it can be pulled apart and you can redo it. So don't worry about it. And this is at the very end. And this is why I say I pulled the very ends. I put a single crochet through both loops. And this is the very, very end. And see what we did here? We just did a slip stitch right across. And it looks like it's part of that whole thing. So now what you're going to do is once you get to the end, and if that doesn't look right, and if you don't like the way that looks, like I'm looking at that and I'm saying, okay, let me see. That's okay. This is what I mean about pulling it out. You can pull back in and say, well, I don't know, is that okay? Mine was, but I wanted you to see how easy it is to pull out. I like to show you how easy things are to do so that if you decide to pull it out, you won't be afraid. You can pull it out. So don't feel as though, see, you can just pull it out and go back in. So I don't want you to be worried that, oh, I'm going to get stuck. I'm not going to be able to get, yes, you will. You'll be able to pull it out and get back right in there, just like I wanted to show you how you do that. And like I said, at the very end, it's going to be a little, and there we go. So now what we're going to do is we're going to make this a little longer. And I want to make this a little longer to cut because I want to be able to, afterwards, I can, not a problem, we can weave in our ends. So now here we go. And we'll make that nice and tight. And then we'll work our way in so that we can weave this into here with your needle. So now you're going to turn this around. And this is your earmuffs. I'm going to show you. Now we're looking to see, this is where you sewed it together. And it looks really good. And that could be the back. And the reason why I'm saying this could be the back is because you can make an embellishment for this. Say you want to make something for this, or you want to make one of those, put one of those leather tags in the front with your name on it, or made by. You can put that in the front, or you can put that in the back where your back is, and you'll be able to tell until you do your, and you'll be able to add that to this. So you can add it to that, and that will be your back if you want, unless you want that in the front. Or if you want to make a flower and put it in the front, or you want to make something to put it in the front so when you put it on your head or you give it as a gift. But this is a really nice, you know, some people might use it as a headband, but this is really nice for ear warmers for the winter. And it's really pretty. You can make it in different colors and just make it, figure out how big you want it as far as fitting around your head. This is what the inside looks like. And this is what the outside looks like. And it's really, really pretty. But I'm going to show you another step to this. I'm going to be doing a fleece inner lining. And I am going to show you, that's why we're going to weave in all our ends. And the next video I want to show you, one of the videos I want to show you is how to make a fleece lining for this. And I'm also going to make an embellishment for you. You know, you could put something like a flower or whatever, but I'm going to give you a pattern that if you wanted to put an embellishment like a flower or whatever, you can do that. So I'm going to be doing that in the next videos coming up. I'm going to do the embellishment and show you how to line this if you want to line this. Do you have to line it? Absolutely not, because it's really warm. Because of that nice give, it's easy and it will fit anybody. But also because of that ribbing, this makes for really, really nice ear warmers. So do you have to line them? Absolutely not. If you want to line them, yes, you may. All you have to do is turn this, and I will show you how we can line this easily, and it'll be really, really nice. We're going to tuck in all our ends, and then we will line this. So this is Maria from Crochet A to Z. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial on how to make these really nice ear warmers. Join me in my next tutorial as I show you how to make another really pretty stitch. And also in the coming tutorial, I'm going to show you how to line this. And I'm going to show you how to make an embellishment, like a flower, whatever you want to make. Something that, if you're making them for you, or you know somebody you like, that would like a flower on it, I'm going to show you how to make one and how to put it on there, and also how to line this. So this is Maria from Crochet A to Z. I hope you liked this tutorial on how to make a ear warmer, and it is a ribbed ear warmers. So thank you. Have a great day, and can't wait to see you again on Crochet A to Z. And thank you again for reaching 500 plus with me. I am so excited. I can't wait to show you some upcoming great things. As I said, this is one of my favorite ear warmers. It's really great, and I love the texture of it. It's a really nice texture. I love the way it looks. If you look at it, you can see where you have the single crochets at each end, and then you have the half double crochets in the middle. It's got a real nice texture, and you can see the pattern right in there. So again, this is Maria from Crochet A to Z. Please join me in my next tutorial. Thank you very much, and I love every one of you, and thank you all for being here. Bye-bye. Hi, I'm Maria from Crochet A to Z, and welcome to my channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, please push that subscribe button. If you have, thank you. Thank you all for being here, and today I want to do part 2 of the first video that we did with these beautiful crochet ribbed ear warmers. So I mentioned that you can use an embellishment, and I'm going to show you how to make this real simple flower. If you want to add a flower to it, you can. If you want to leave it plain, you can, because it is beautifully ribbed. It's nice and textured. And if you want to add a lining, we're going to do that too with a fleece lining. So I'm going to show you just how easy this is. And what we're going to do is we're going to make this flower first. So I'm using an H hook, and what we're going to do is do our slip knot, and we're going to chain 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're going to go into that first chain that we did. This is your working chain. These are your chains. This is your slip knot. We're going to go right in there, and we're going to do a slip stitch. Once we do that slip stitch, we're going to go and we're going to chain 1. Then we're going to go right in the middle here, right in there, and we're going to do a single crochet. We're going to do a second single crochet. And now we're going to do 10 more. So you'll need 12 single crochets. So this is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and you can work that right in there, that end. That's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and we're going to do 12. And then you can pull this a little bit, and it'll close that up a little bit. And then we're going to go right in the top of this, and we're going to do a slip stitch right there. So there's your little circle, and we're going to start doing what we need to do to get this finished. After we do that, we're going to chain 1. We're going to do a single crochet in this first stitch, and you can see where that's right here. We can just pull that, and we can actually cut it so that it doesn't confuse things. So I'm going to cut that right now because I've pulled it enough, and I'm going to cut this right off. Yeah. So now we're going to do a single crochet right there. So we're going to chain 1, and we're going to do a single crochet right in that first stitch. Now we're going to go into the next stitch, and we're going to do 5 right here. I want to show you right there. We're going to do 5 double crochets. 1 right there, 2, 3, 4, 5. You made your first petal. Into that next stitch, you're going to do a single crochet. In the next stitch, you're going to do right there, you're going to do 5 double crochets in this next stitch. And it's kind of like, I can't believe I'm fitting these all in there, but you will. 2, 3, 4, 5. It's hard to believe that you're fitting all of those in there. So now in the next stitch, you're going to do a single crochet. You've got 2 petals done. This is how fast this works up. So in the next stitch, you're going to do 5 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Three petals. Next one, you're going to do a single crochet. Now in the next one, you're going to do 5 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you're going to do a single crochet in the next stitch, the next chain. Now we're going to do another 5 double crochets in the next one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 petals. You're going to do a single crochet in this next stitch. Then in this next stitch, you're going to do 5 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 petals. At the top of this, where you see this double crochet, because you have a single in the middle, right at the top of that double crochet, you're going to just join this together and you're going to do a slip stitch. And you have your little flower that you can put on there, that you can embellish, and you can put your little flower wherever you want, whether you want to put it in the back, the front, wherever you want to put this little flower, you can put this. And it looks really pretty. And that's, like I said, it's up to you. Wherever you want to put it, you can put it. And once you add your flower, I suggest that you add your flower first to wherever you want, and then put your lining in if you're going to add a lining. And what I wanted to mention, if you want to chain 3 here, you can. I did it with a chain 3, and I did it with a chain 4. That's up to you. Whatever you feel as though you want to do this, want to chain. You can either do a 3 or a 4 to get to your flower. It doesn't matter. That's up to you. If you want a more closed middle, you can have a more closed middle. If you want a more open middle, that's up to you. But that's your flower right there. And it looks really pretty. And like I said, it's really easy to make. And you just go right around until you make all of your petals. So now I'm going to show you how we do our lining. So the lining is, you get yourself a good needle, which we're going to do. And what I want to mention ahead of time, and I'm going to get mine with the big eye on it, because 9 times out of 10, I can't thread it because I can't see it. I have a lot of times it's like, oh my gosh. So I want to mention that, again, if you don't want to line these, you don't have to. If you do want to line it, that's perfect. And what we do is we're going to turn this, your fleece, you're going to turn your crochet pot wrong side out. And that's how you're going to do. Now, I'm going to show you how you'll be able to tell wrong side out. You're going to be able to feel it. You're going to be able to see it. This is where you crocheted along to put it together. And if you want to watch the video again to just bring you up. So I'm going to show you something. And if you want to leave your ends and not do them and like leave a little end so that it'll remind you or tell you, you can do that. But you can really tell. First of all, you can feel it because that's where you crocheted, unless you sewed it. But that's okay. You're still going to feel it. If you turn this over, it's easy. There's no ridge. It just looks like all the same. But if you turn it on the wrong side out, you can see it. You can feel it. So you want to turn the crochet wrong side out. And you want that seam to face you. So let that seam face you and let it be that you have it right in the middle. So you try to make it so that it's in the middle. And let me just so that you can see this. So this is right in the middle. So now what I did is I bought fleece. And the fleece, and what I did was I did an edging. So I sewed the fleece. You're going to sew the end, so you're going to sew your fleece together as if it was your crochet, and then you're going to sew the inside edge so that it cleans it up. Now, if you don't want to do that, you don't have to, and if you want to tuck it in as you go, as you sew it together, I prefer sewing both edges clean, and then you can run your needle right through it and do what you need to do, and I think it makes it easier. So that's the way I see this. So now what you're going to do is your fleece is going to be right side out, and your crochet is going to be wrong side out. And then you're going to get this and you're going to put this in here. Now I want to show you something. You want to make this kind of not a lot bigger, but just a little bigger on each side. And I want you to be able to see that. So you're going to make it just a little, not a lot bigger, but a little bigger on each side. But not a lot, because you don't want bulk in there. And I'll show you what I mean. So you're going to get your ear warmers and you're going to put them right inside that. And you're going to line it up so that it's, and this is what I mean, what's nice about sewing the edges is that you don't have to stop playing with it while you're trying to sew it. And see how this is a little lot, it's just a bit larger, just a little bit on each end. And you don't have to, by sewing the edges, you don't have to play with that as much and say, oh, I've got to tuck that in. It's not even on each side. That's why I like sewing this way. And then you just get it so that it's even right along and it's even with, so it's kind of in the middle. You're going to have a little bit showing on each side. That's okay. See at the ends? And that's fine. So now what we're going to do is you're going to get your needle. And like I said, I have to, and you're going to thread your needle with, whatever thread color you need for whatever color lining. You can make your lining any color. You can make it a light color. You can make it a dark color. I just happened to go with the darker color when I made this. Again, like I said, if you don't want to sew in the edges on each side, you don't have to. I like the look. I like it. I think it's easier to sew on there. So I liked sewing the edges the way I did. So now what we're going to do is you're going to make sure you're going to feel, there's where you crocheted, and that's going to go right there so that those two edges are in line with each other. And you're going to get your needle, and I'm going to show you, and you're going to bring your needle in there. Okay, so now we're going to start sewing this together. So you're going to put your needle in there, and you're going to just go right along here and sew this together. And like I said, you make sure that you cannot see that you went in there, and we're going to just keep doing this right along until you get this all attached to the inside of your warmers. So you're going to just go right along And like I said, you're going to make sure that you don't go. And make sure that your needle is not dull. Make sure that it's, because you're going to go through, you know, your fleece. So you want to make sure that your needle is not dull. So again, you're going to go inside here, and you're going to go in there, and you're going to just go right along, and you're going to pick up, I want to show you, can't see a needle, and you're going to go right along and sew this. And you want to sew it so that you know it's going to stick. You know that it's going to not come apart. And we're going to do it. I'm going to sew it I'm going to try to put this so that you can see what I'm doing. So you're going to come right across. I'll do it so that you don't see my fat little hands and that you can see what I'm doing. And you just go right along. And you keep sewing this. And I'm going to show you. See? And that's just, and see how it's, see how nice and snug it is? It's not going to bug in a rug. That's what my grandson would say. It's not going to bug in a rug, Grandma. And you just go right across, and you just grab that, and we're going to do this right around the top. Now, I want to mention again that you don't have to make that, but I find it's so much simpler than having to play with tucking that in and then sewing it. If you make a nice edge before you do it, it just makes it, to me, so much easier to handle. And you don't have to keep playing with the material and saying, oh, I've got to do this, and I've got to, you know, I've got to tuck that in. You don't have to. I just want to make it so to work easier and not harder. So I want to make it so that it's like, okay, I got it done. I've got the seams. I've got my seams sewed. I've got this sewed up. All I have to do is contend with is adding this, and not having to say, well, I've got to flip this and make sure it's even, and it's, no, you've already done it. You do it ahead of time. You do your seams ahead of time. You do all of that ahead of time, and you don't have to play with the inside of the material of the fleece and say, oh, the fleece isn't even. This is, to me, the easiest way to do this. And this is what you're going to do to add this lining all the way around. Now, if you want to pin the lining, you can. Pin it all the way around if you can. If you don't want to pin it, the reason I didn't pin it is because I've already got this sewn and I didn't feel as though I had to do it. But if you want to pin it before you start sewing it, by all means do so. But I didn't pin it because I had it all prepared. You know, I did my seam in the middle. I did everything else. And you just do this right along, and until you get to the very end. And then once you do the top, then you're going to do your bottom half. And you'll do that. And like I said, every once in a while, if you want to check yourself, you can check yourself and say, well, wait a minute, it's not going through, right? You can check. Depending on what color it is, it'll be easier to see than the other. But all you have to do is, you know, kind of, and grab enough. And then if you're saying, oh, did I grab too much? That's all right. Just turn it around and say, I won't be able to see the stitches. And like I said, just make sure you get yourself a sharp enough needle, because especially if you make that edging, it's going to be a little bit, but it's not going to be bulky. I want you to know that when you do that, it's not going to be bulky, so that when you put it on, I think it's bulkier feeling when you have to tuck it in as you go, but that's me. So this will go around and around until you get to the end. So if you want to stop this video and keep going and going and meet me at the end, you can do that. And like I said, check it out. And you're going to know right away if you went over and you went to the other side. I'll show you how. Say, oh, did I catch the, oh, can they see the, so watch. If you go and you stitch, see, you're going to know, oh no, that's not right. I went too much. I just want to pick up a little on the inside. So yes, you can do that. So that's not a problem. And you just sew along as you go. And you will have to get, you'll have to rethread, because it's, you're going around and around. And when if you have to rethread, you just knot your thread from where you finished and just go and do that, and you're fine. And you'll just do this right along. And I'm going to just keep going, and I'll meet you at the end of this. And when we've started our other side, meet you then. Well, thank you for meeting me almost at the end of this. And what we're going to do is we're going to keep sewing until we get to the end. Now, I want to mention to you the reason that I say, or should say, start at the seam. So what I'm saying is start here when you go around on each side. Because what'll happen is you'll know when you're getting to the end. So now I know I've gone all the way around and I'm getting to my end. So here I go. I'm getting to my end, almost there. And the other thing that I want to mention is that well, first of all, don't sew your finger to this. I almost grabbed my finger along with this. Is the other thing I want to mention is if you don't have a sewing machine, then just when you get your fleece, just fold your fleece over to the width that you need this to be, and then press it with an iron, and then sew it on. I'm just trying to find simpler ways for you to work this so that it's not, it just becomes easier for you to do this. So if you don't have a sewing machine, get your fleece, fold it in half, and you can sew this seam. You can sew it by hand and sew it together. And if you want to stitch this, but you can just flatten it with an iron, and then you'll be all set. So now I'm coming to my end because I can tell. See, I've only got a little space to grab. So I'm just going to grab this. And going to pull it through, and I'm going to go in here, and this is what I did, and just make sure that you have your two, and you're just going to go through that, and it makes a little knot, and then just go through it again and make your little knot again. And that's it. And then you can cut this off. And I'm going to pull that to one side. And here it is. Here's your fleece lined. It's so nice and it's so soft. And if you just got to make it a little bigger on each side, just a little bit, and pull this right in. And then all you have to do is turn this over. And the nice thing is that you can't see you can't tell there's a lining in there. And believe me, when you put the lining in, you can really tell the texture. They're very, very warm. And there's your liner. Isn't that pretty? And it just looks really nice. And like I said, if you wanted to add that, and you can add that and just give it a little bit of, you know, a little bit of your character in it. That's fine. And see, you can tell where the back is. So this is the back. So this is your front. And see, you can put a little flower in there. Or if you don't want to add anything, or you can put a little leather embellishment of saying made by you, or whatever the leather piece would say. And this is how you make, and you have your lined ear warmers. And they're beautiful ear warmers, and they're beautiful. The fleece is so soft. It just adds a little more to it. And like I said, if you don't want to do that, you don't have to. And just remember, you sew that together, and then you line them up. You line this up with this, with your crochet, and you turn your fleece to the right side out, and you turn your crochet ear warmers to the wrong side out. And when you're done putting it together, all you have to do is you're going to look at this, and you're going to see that when you look at your ear warmers and turn them from this side, and you're going to see that this is on the right side, so that's perfect. And you turn it, and this is your right side of your ear warmer. So that's the simple way to do this, and it's easy. And I thought, I have done it in the past with not doing this and having to work and, you know, make sure I get it in, get it even. This way here, by you doing this little extra, it just makes it so much easier to put together. And I want to try, when I do stuff like this, I do it the way I've done it. I did it that way. And I said, no, I want to make it easier for someone else to make them. And so this, to me, I felt was easy. If you wanted to add a lining, that you wouldn't have to go crazy trying to play with this, that you would just put it right in there and you just sew it, and it makes it easy. So this is Maria from Crochet A to Z, and this is how to add fleece. And if you want to also add an embellishment, I showed you how to make the flower. So that's up to you. And I'm going to be doing a tutorial on how to do others as well. And they're really great. I have some really great patterns that you can make for these. So this is Maria from Crochet A to Z. I hope you liked this tutorial. Please push the subscribe button. Please push the like button. Tell your friends about this channel. I really love sharing stuff with you. I love having you all here. I'm going to be coming back tomorrow, and I'm going to be putting out a video on another stitch. Hopefully, I'm going to have it out by tomorrow night before the storm hits here, or hurricane hits, or tropical storm, or whatever they're going to call it by the time it comes. So hopefully I can get that out to you. And this is Maria from Crochet A to Z. Hope you all stay safe. And thank you for all being here. I really do appreciate you, and I love you all. We're all crochet people, and we want to teach, show you how to do things. We want to bring other people into crochet and make this a really beautiful crochet community. And I love having you all here. Thank you, and really have a great day. Bye-bye. Stay safe.